Is the business itself franchisable? When we're looking at a franchisable business model, we start by asking questions about whether or not the business can be sold. So we look at successful prototype, credibility, differentiation, business sizzle, buyer appeal. Those are the kinds of questions that will tell us. When I'm looking at credibility, I'm looking at how many units do you have, how long you've been in business. Do you have a successful operating prototype? Do you have a credible management team? The next thing we look for is, can we duplicate the success that we've had with our initial operation or operations? And that's going to be things like teachability. Can we transfer it from one market to the next? Are there established operations manuals and training programs? We want to make sure that all those things are there and are in place so that at the end of the day, people will be able to duplicate what it is that we're doing here. The next thing that we typically look at is return on investment. What we look at first is affordability. The average new franchise investment today is between $150,000 and $250,000. And once we've determined that our prospective franchisee can afford it, then it becomes a question of what is the return, because ultimately that's going to dictate it. And what we look for typically is a 15% return on investment. And then the last few things that we typically look for in a franchise is market trends, capital, and management. What's happening out there in the marketplace? What is happening out there in terms of, are there trends that we need to know about? The next thing, of course, is capital. Franchising is a low-cost means of getting into business, but it's not a no-cost means of getting into business. And then lastly, of course, is management. Now, good management solves capital problems. Good management solves problems of marketplace and changes in the marketplace. There's no cure for bad management. Now, the main thing in franchising, the number one criteria in franchising, is to create a win-win-win environment. You want to make sure, ultimately, that the franchisee wins, that the consumer wins, and that you win as the franchisor. And if you can't create that, it's not going to work as a franchise. It has to work for everybody.